Hey YouTube, wanted to make a video showing some of the modifications and no budget upgrades that I did to the interior of my 1973 Mustang. I have two jobs, but as most of y'all out there, I really don't have much money to just go out and try to buy reproduction parts or just even scrap parts or go off eBay or Craigslist. A lot of stuff's really expensive, and there isn't that big of a big I guess you could say market out there for the 70s. Usually you got 64 through 69, and that's where you're going to find the majority of your catalog parts. So today I'm just going to show you some of the stuff I did on the interior. And in my previous video, you saw the modifications I did with LED lights, putting those in the gauge cluster, and also one up here on my dome light. And that's a small investment for a big improvement in the interior lighting. So other things that I've added or actually purchased are the Grant steering wheel, cheap aftermarket Pioneer MP3 single disc CD player, and I think that was actually free from someone at my church. Uh, Aftermarket rugs and carpet, and my seat here is broken. I'm still looking for interior seats to try to replace, but that's proving difficult, mainly because the brackets are so different than what I can find out there. Um, Most of the interior was originally gray, like the seat here, but I went ahead and started changing everything to black and doing a lot of repainting. The Grande originally had gray and brown, and that really wasn't what I was going for. And with the carpet replacement being black, I thought it was appropriate to go ahead and just try to paint over all the parts, since most of them were already quite worn. So you can see down there the kick panels and the door panels. I went ahead and painted them black, uh, and the piece there that you see, the chrome piece, well, metal actually. What I did was I pulled off the wood decal and went ahead and cleaned that up and just painted the edge of it with some black Rust-Oleum paint. And I didn't do too good of a job with stripping and finishing, sanding, and applying the paint. So some of it looks kind of shoddy. But like I said, zero budget, and these panels are already quite worn, and they're really beat up. So I really didn't care too much about you know trying to make them look like new, because they weren't going to be come out brand new. So same with the other here. Went ahead and painted that. Same thing. Took out the wood, painted the trim. Dash panel was sunburned and gray. Took that out. Painted that over. That looks pretty good. Along here with the gauge cluster, basically all this here was gray. Went ahead and painted over everything. Took all this apart and tried to do the best that I could to to make it look presentable. Um, One thing here, if you can see the doorknobs here, these are actually um, screws that came off a swing set that I was making. Originally, I purchased some aftermarket uh, doorknobs, and they were pretty much plastic with that chrome plastic finish. And I'm not too much into that kind of thing with plastic and here, stick this on your car with 3M tape and that kind of thing. I really like to have something that's going to replace the part and be a quality part. So this is metal, You know, it doesn't look chrome or whatever, but basically I just cut down the little piece that comes out and put those on there. Looks great. These mirrors I got from AutoZone, very cheap, and you know, they look pretty good. What else can I say? You know, still a lot of work to do. I'd like to have a center console here, using the duct tape for now. I'd like to get some shoulder seatbelts replacements. Those are going to run me quite a bit. So, I mean, for me, $200 is a lot. So I'm not too, you know, too much in a rush to get those, considering the seat's busted anyway. These in the back are also from AutoZone, and I mean, those look fine for me. They do the job, and you know, it was a pretty cheap replacement for what was in there. Seeing the back still in pretty good condition. Got the two speakers back there. Eventually, I'd like to try to get these replaced and cleaned up. I think AutoZone sells some, you know, generic knobs that I can stick in there. I don't know if I'll get around to that, but you know, just like I said, small things, one at a time. Whatever I can find that's, you know, something that I can probably do on my own, I'm gonna do. You know, I don't have enough money to buy, you know, aftermarket or you know, stuff for the engine yet. So, like I said, I'm just trying to, you know, find little things that I can do that that will definitely accommodate the car. That's probably just about it. That's for the interior, you know. Just little things I can find that replace. You know, I want to find metal preferably. I'm not too much into plastic, cheap parts like that. So it takes a little more work and ingenuity to try to do that. Um, that little, yeah. For example, that is almost impossible to find. I found on eBay the little brake light there. They want, you know, like $40-50 for that. So I'm probably just going to try to rig something up myself. As you can see, the clock is finally gave out the battery. I talked about that in my previous video where I was describing the gauge cluster, and eventually I'll have to switch that battery out. But like I said, I mean, it looks stock, and it looks, you know, really good. The fuel gauge that I had busted out, and I was very lucky to find a guy on Craigslist who was selling an entire gauge cluster for like $40. You know, just an absolute steal, and I was all over that. So I was really lucky to find replacement, you know, fuel gauge as well as the other two gauges. So I think that's going to be about it for today. I'm going to try to upload some other videos of you know, engine, exterior. I just don't want to make the video too long. So if anybody has any questions or comments, feel free to leave me some feedback, and I'll, you know, try to get some more specific coverage for what you folks would like to see. Okay.